The cars have fired, sitting on pit road, getting ready to roll off for the pace laps before the Carfax 250 with Mark Martin and Jeff Burton on the front row. Kevin Harvick, leader in the championship standings, looking for his second series championship. 22 career wins, 5 of them coming this year. He has been the man in the NASCAR Busch Series, and this afternoon chases the win here at the Michigan International Speedway on his way to what could be the 2006 Series Championship. Kevin Harvick and company now rolling off of pit road. And there you see Harvick in the Coast Guard Chevrolet. And here is the starting grid for this afternoon's NASCAR Busch Series race. Mark Martin and Jeff Burton are on the front row. Carl Edwards in row 2 with Matt Kenseth. Denny Hamlin and Kurt Busch in row 3. Again, 23 drivers in today's race, also racing here tomorrow.
Yeah, it looks like a cup race. Casey Mears, Bernie Lamar. There's Kevin Harvick. Everybody wish he'd take a break. Kyle Busch. These guys are looking for all good days. I know Kyle Busch thinks he's got a pretty fast car today.
Drop back to row 7. You'll see Greg Biffles in row 7 along with Tony Stewart. And look at row 8. A couple of guys trying to get some experience here. Cale Gale and Steve Wallace. And behind them, Regan Smith and the veteran Bobby Labonte.
Row 10, Jason Leffler. There's Dale Jr. in the 8 car. Robbie Gordon driving for Dale Earnhardt Jr. today. Mike Skinner, Kenny Wallace, and Augie Pitovich in row 12.
Row 13, Ashton Lewis Jr. and John Wood. Stacy Compton and Danny O'Quinn in row 14. Paul Menard and Jeff Green make up row 15 this afternoon.
Back in row 16, we've got Scott Riggs and John Andretti. Row 17, David Green and Reed Sorensen. Todd Cleaver and Stephen Light in row 18.
Curtis Davis and Michael Waltrip back in row 19. Clint Boyer and Jay Sauter in row 20. Johnny Sauter, J.J. Yaley back there in row 21. And Scott Wimmer starts shotgun on the field. Dexter Bean, Jerry Robertson failed to qualify. The 0, the 10, the 27, and the 35 all go to the back for an engine change. The 11 and the 18 adjustments after impound. Wally's gonna jump on the radio for us real quick here.
Let's see if we can get a hold of Biffle out there. Hey Greg, this is Wally in the booth. Can you hear me? Try one more time. Greg Biffle, this is Wally in the booth. Can you hear me?
Some people talking there, but I got somebody.
Hey Greg, this is Wally in the booth. Can you hear me okay?
I got you, Wally.
Man, I wish you would have known that Marty was going up with you in a helicopter. He hates heights. I cannot believe you got him in a helicopter.
I know. I wish I'd have known that. I'd leaned it up on the side a little bit or something.
So we got to talk next time. What's the track look like out there? We got some weepers still in turn 2?
A little bit. You know, since there's a small area, even if you go over it, you feel the car slip just a tiny bit, but doesn't really affect anything. Not enough to really upset the car. And then, you know, you can always stay below it or above it.
Well, do you think you got a car that can win this? I know you've won a cup race here, a truck race. If you can win this Busch race, you'll be the only guy that's won in all 3 divisions at this racetrack.
Tell you what, I've had some awesome Busch cars here, and I think the American West Fusion is going to be good today. Eddie and the guys have done a great job for me getting it ready, so it's just up to me now. But I got some tough customers up front, you know, Mark Martin, Matt Kenseth, Carl. There's a lot of fast race cars up there I got to beat today.
Well, good luck and have a lot of fun out there, Greg.
Definitely have fun. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you, Wally. Final stories from pit road. Let's start with Matt.
And Bill starting deep in the field today is Reed Sorensen chasing his 3rd career NASCAR Busch Series win. Now, qualifying wasn't exactly what he'd hoped. He starts 34th today, but the team really is on a roll. Consistency-wise, if you look from February to mid-July, 1 top 5 finish. But the last 4 races, he has finished 4th or better 3 separate times. Now, last week wasn't a great weekend at Watkins Glen. They're trying to rebound from that, and they feel like, especially this kind of racetrack, which is more to Reed's sort of liking as far as his type of characteristics, they're hoping to get back on track here today and maybe pick up another win.
And Matt, you never know when you might get back on track. Michael Waltrip's a former winner here. He hasn't won in the Busch Series in 58 starts, but the last time he won, he was running 4th on the final lap at Nashville. Guys wrecked in front of him. He ended up winning the race. So, starting 38 today, Michael's not out of it. The race isn't over yet. We'll see. Marty?
Well, Dave, if anybody in this field has the experience to win today, it is definitely Bobby Labonte with 3 Nextel Cup Series wins at this racetrack. Now, originally when the schedule came out for Bobby this year, this was supposed to be the last race. He actually requested one more race in this 66 car. They hope to put him in the car at Kansas later on this year. Bobby told me a few moments ago, you know, we have a top 10 car today, but if I can do my job and we can have a little strategy, maybe we can turn a top 10 car into a winning car. Alan?
Well, Marty, my assignment for this little blurb is to give you the big picture on today's race. So here it is. We've got a star-studded field. You got Martin and Burton and Edwards, and that's just the top 3. You've got a big, wide racetrack where we see a lot of side-by-side racing. It's a place where fuel strategy adds some drama to the mix. Oh, and by the way, there's another band of rain on the radar that could cut this thing short of its scheduled distance and really put the pressure on the crew chiefs to make the right strategy call later in the day. So the big picture, it's going to be fun. Bill?
Sure will. Enjoy it down there. Cars working down the backstretch here at Michigan. Here's our race analysis for today. 125 laps on this 2-mile track. Pit road speed 55 miles per hour. And that pit window 48 to 52 laps. And it'll be interesting to see how that plays out here this afternoon. Again, rain has been a big part of the picture today. Rained heavily overnight. Shortened the first Nextel Cup Series practice earlier today. They did get in a lengthy second practice, and they got in Busch qualifying. The cars were impounded after they qualified here earlier today. 14 different winners in the NASCAR Busch Series this season. As we get ready for this afternoon's Carfax 250 here at Michigan. On board with Jeff Burton, starting outside the front row, next to pole sitter Mark Martin. His first pole in 52 races here at Michigan. Pace car to pit road. Jeff Burton in control of the field, along with pole sitter Mark Martin. Coming down to get the green flag. The fans have filed in. We're ready to go NASCAR Busch Series racing this afternoon here on TNT. Mark Martin leads lap 1. Kurt Busch is on the move, and it doesn't take long for it to get wide.
It really doesn't. And I think Jeff Burton spun the tires on the start. I was watching that front row. His car got real loose, so I think he spun him on the start. And I'll tell you what, this Kurt Busch is flying right now. Got 39 car challenging Mark Martin for the lead.
Mark on the inside, and here comes Jeff Burton in the 29 car. Like Kenseth right behind Burton. Kurt Busch to the lead. And Burton trying to take second from Martin and Will.
That's where that drafting comes into play a little bit. Mark was down on the bottom, and these guys were all lined up on the high line and helped Burton get by Mark Martin.
Kenseth down low. And the 20 of Denny Hamlin. Burton wants the lead down the backstretch. That's Stephen Wallace. Started in row 8. Report that he may have brushed the wall.
Right front tire starter vibrating the first lap going into turn 1. Problem, man, no problem. Bring her down pit road, we'll work on it.
That was Rusty Wallace talking to his son Stephen.
Kenseth is going to take the second spot away from Jeff Burton.
Marty?
Stephen Wallace came on the radio, Bill, after he made contact with the wall and said the right front tire started vibrating on the very first lap. So they're going to bring him down pit road. They think it may be a flat right front, at least that's what Stephen is reporting, and they're going to bring him down pit road on this lap.
And you can see the right side damage on that 64 car. Hamlin loose.
Wow, is he loose? Saved it. Might lose a spot, but
And Kenseth tries to get the lead. It's Tony's
3 wide.
Yep,
Wow.
almost 4 wide. Bernie Lamar in the 77, Kyle Busch in the 5, Stewart in the 33 back there, and Casey Mears. That's why these Michigan races are so much fun to watch, because there's racing all over the track.
there's just so much racetrack you can use. And see, these guys are side by side, and there's enough air in between those 2 cars where Tony won't get loose running on the bottom. And there's even room for another car in there to run side by side. So it's just a fun place. You have confidence you're going to go down the corner side by side and not wreck each other.
And that's exactly what they did. And they didn't. Now this is on board with Stephen Wallace a few moments ago.
38 only. Another one lining up with it here. Clear, clear.
I couldn't really tell what happened there. I mean, he was pretty high. Didn't get into the wall real hard, but this guy's racing pretty hard right here. There's Burton, Harvick,
Carl Edwards in the 60, Hamlin in the 20, and Matt Kenseth trying to break away up front.
He's trying, but he's got Kurt Busch right there on his rear bumper.
Harvick in the 21, and Edwards made his Nextel Cup debut at this track. Carl did. Runs very well at Michigan. Martin looking to close in on second place Kurt Busch as we watch this battle.
Wow.
And that's what you'll see here at Michigan.
Yep, used the draft down on the bottom. Looks like Burton is really tight right now. He's using a lot of racetrack.
Denny Hamlin on the move, Alan.
Yeah, they came on the radio just a second ago and said, you know, this feels like dirt track racing at its best. Sliding around a little bit out there in the opening laps.
And he's not the only one. Kurt Busch and Matt Kenseth. This is for the lead. And again, as Alan pointed out, rain is in the forecast for later this afternoon.
Oh, wow. Kurt Busch sideways, drives it up the racetrack. You can see his hands working through the windshield.
So Kurt back to the lead. More on Kurt from Dave.
And he just reported to his crew right before that, real loose, looser than he likes it. And obviously, Wally, the car is handling that way.
Yeah, you can see him every lap coming through the corners. He's sideways, and it's even worse when he's got the 17 car to Matt Kenseth right behind him. He's not helping matters by taking some of that air off the spoiler. So I know Kurt Busch would like to put some distance in between him and the guys behind him right now.
3 different leaders in the first 9 laps here at the Michigan International Speedway. Kurt Busch leads Matt Kenseth and Mark Martin in the Carfax 250.